Okay, so once you get Kenshi all loaded up, you want to go ahead and start the game. We'll be just demonstrating that we have absolutely no mods. This is completely vanilla. You want to start as well, there's several starts, but we'll show it with the Wanderer. So you'll go in and you'll need to pick your race. You'll have to sit through a big long loading screen. Any race will do. We'll do this with the Sheks this time, just because I like my big Shek model. We'll go with King Hila here. This is my Hila monster. Anyways, we start here in the hub, and the first place we want to go is to the small shack. You can actually skip this part. You can get the whole Tora start done without going to the shack, but there's usually some food in here. You can get some quick lock-picking experience. I tend to pick up the food and anything that's worth some money. So like if there's grog or sake in there, sometimes there's hash in there that you can sell for some quick cats right off the start. While we're picking this lock, we'll go ahead and change our squad name. And there we go. Lock is open. We'll grab that grog out of there, maybe some other things, and we'll just go sell that off in the bar in Squin. Again, you don't have to do this step, but since kind of the idea is to get some nice, quick, early cats, if you're out there copper mining and you don't want to do the Tora start and you don't know about this small shack, you should be using that small shack. Like, your first food is free. You can get some pretty decent stuff. Anyways, we're going to sell all of that stuff off, and then we will make our way towards Squin. And actually, I'm just going to keep maybe one of my foods here, and we're even going to get rid of all of the armor, the rags, and the weapon that you start with. We don't want any of that. We want to be completely lightweight so that we outrun anything. And we're actually going to see that come into play right here. On the way to Squin, sometimes dust bandits just spawn right in front of you, or maybe even the old hungry bandit pack, and right behind that hill, there they are. Fortunately, we are fast enough. Now, we don't completely outrun them, but we outrun them enough to get to the Squin guards and let them take care of them. And you can see he's catching up to me, but the guards will see him here in just a second and take care of him. Now, since I'm demonstrating, I'm going to leave these guys here, but again, this is actually good luck. You can take these dust bandits to Squin, and I could go back and loot all of them and sell that loot. Dust Bandit's chest plates, I think it's called the Heart Protector, those sell for like 500 cats each, so that's also a good way to get money. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to go ahead and just head straight on over to Tora the Fearless. So once you get through Squin, we got a bag check. So once you get through Squin, you want to go to the southwest. You saw me mark it on my map there, and momentarily we will discover a way station. That way station is where we're headed, and just due south of that way station is an exile camp, and that's where Tora the Fearless is. Tora the Fearless is the leader of the Band of Bones, which are basically souped up dust bandits, except for that they're all Sheks. So they roam around all over the world. I see them all over the place, and not all over the world, but I don't know exactly their zones, but they're kind of like dust bandits. You see them all around, and they're just annoying, and we can get 10k cats for capturing their leader right here. So if you run straight to the exile camp on the first day, a guard will usually see you as you approach and start attacking. And what we're going to do is we're going to kite him. And the way that you kite him in this game is you get into their room. We want to move into their attack range so that their attack animation goes. And as soon as it starts to swing, we just make a move to run out of the way so that we don't actually get hit. If you keep running and get enough distance between them, they will de-aggro. So that's why you have to do this little dance. You can't just run straight to the way station. It's a little bit too far away for them to keep following you. These guys aren't as fast as those dust bandits, or rather they're weighted down by their equipment, and so they can't run as fast as you. And so we're just going to get them all the way up here and into the way station. And so we're going to do that. Now, an interesting thing here, spoiler alert, this actually is Tora the Fearless, so we didn't have to deal with any of his guards this time, and I think that happens if you get there, like, on the first day. Tora is the one that's guarding. I'm pretty sure if you are there, like, you know, you get here at nighttime or something like that, you know, he goes to sleep. He sleeps in a sleeping bag. That's part of his pattern. So it might be a different guard, but we're actually pretty lucky here that we just have this one guy that we have to kite to get the cats. Or perhaps that's unlucky. I mean, if the idea is just to get a bunch of cats, you can kite that entire camp up here, a couple, 2, 3, 4, even if you get the whole camp, you can do this same way to kite them all up into this way station, and the tech hunters and the mercenaries in here will take care of them all for you, and you can just loot all their crap and sell it in these stores that are right here. And so we don't have that many guys this time around, but you know, you can do that. So here we are. We're checking it out. We're letting the folks do it. You want to actually run inside the inn. They won't necessarily start fighting him if you are just outside of the buildings, but once you go inside and they see somebody aggressive in their shop, that's when everybody jumps in to beat him up and take him out. So we're just here waiting for them to kick him out of the shop, and then of course Kenshi's gonna Kenshi on us. So here it goes. Of course he drops him and it bounces him right back up onto the roof. So we're gonna go up there and try to pick him up. And I'm stuck in the corner because of course we're still Kenshiing and everybody wants to get this guy and we can't. So I've got to do a few little tricks. Fun fact, if you sit down on a thing, it often lets you do lots of stuff that you couldn't do. So we're going to sit down on this little thing and then we'll be able to pick him up. So once you've got your guy, you do want to bandage him up and stuff. So we'll take him outside so that the folks who live inside of this way station don't want to keep picking him up to throw him out of the base. But yeah, it's Tora the Fearless. Perfect. He's got a 10,000 cat bounty. We're going to take all of his equipment just to up our weight now. Now that we're carrying him and we can no longer outrun things, we want all the weight we can so that we can maximize our strength gains as we drag him to Squin to turn in for a bounty. But first we're going to go ahead and patch him up. We don't want him dying on the way there. I think he's only worth half if he's dead. Somebody in chat can somebody in the comments can correct that if I'm wrong. But anyways, we're going to patch him up. We're going to pick him up. And then we're going to put him back down. Oh, that's because he was about to wake up, right? So if you have somebody who's unconscious, you kidnap them, and then you put them back down, they'll go unconscious again for maybe 15 seconds. They don't wake up right away when you throw a kidnappee on the ground. So we've got him. We've got all of his stuff. I'm just doing a quick check here. I'm fine with all this. I don't really care to sell it. We'll just deal with it for right now, and we can sell it later in Squin if we really want to. We'll keep it equipped. We're just going to run to Squin. And this here is where you're going to do a safety save. We can no longer run Dust Bandits, Hungry Bandits, Starving Bandits, which all could pop up in between here and Squin. So we do a safety save there. Honestly, if you're doing an Iron Man no reset kind of a run, this is still an excellent start. Like, if you do get jumped here, you know, we've only been playing for 8 minutes. You can easily restart the game from this point. But it does give you a nice big opening, as we'll see, compared to, I don't know, like mining or something like that. All right, so we've made it back to Squin. There were no dust bandits or anything like that on the way, so it was a pretty uneventful trip back from the way station to Squin. We're still on the first day, although it is approaching midnight, and we'll make our way all the way back across. The police station is on the other side of town, and we'll get our bounty. So there you go. At the end of the first day, we've got 12 cats, 4 strength, 8 athletics, all in a single one in-game day. So I think that's pretty good compared. I think that's an all right way to start, right? All in a day's work. There was really nothing super dangerous, and it's a great way to start the game. You could take that 12 cats, buy yourself a crossbow. You could recruit a couple of extra party members. You could buy a small shack and start doing whatever shack stuff you want to do. It just kind of gets you a nice, good, solid start. So that is Tora the Fearless. The Tora start works well with many of the vanilla starts in the game, and I'll show you that in just a moment, but before that, I do want to warn you about the Holy Sword. For some reason, and I suspect it's the 20,000 cat bounty, you also start with -100 with the Imperial Lords and the Holy Nation, but that shouldn't affect a way station controlled by the Tech Hunters. So I'm not sure why they don't help you, but maybe the fact that you're worth double the problem makers that are nearby them's bounty is the reason they don't help you. So I wanted to show you that just for fun, and also what you'll see is me not getting any assistance from them, and then trying to duel this guy, and it's definitely not working out for me, and I will end up in a pool of my own blood. That is, it's a Kenshi thing to see, so you can enjoy that as kind of an interlude as we get into the final bit, where we'll look at, again, 4 different starts compared to the minor, which is the kind of start that you often see beginner players get recommended to do. And, I think I kind of disagree with that, because, yes, it's easy. It does teach you some mechanic of the game, but mining really isn't useful until you're at the middle or late game. And honestly, you're not building up any skills. You're just sitting there for 20, 30, 40 minutes just watching your guy hit a mine for, a while, until either you give up on that and try something else that actually does improve your character's combat stats and things that helps you get around and work in the world, or you get ambushed by a pack of dust bandits and you can't run away with them because you have an inventory half full of copper, and you end up in a pool of blood. So you just sat there, whacked a mine for 45 minutes and died in blood. So I still stand by my Tora start, and I think that the next segment will definitely demonstrate that. But anyways, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so we are off. We've got sped up Son of a Captain, Holy Nation Citizen, Hive Exile, and a Wanderer who will sit near the hub and do some mining. The Son of the Captain starts out in the hub, and so they are the closest to the exile camp, and they'll also be the first ones to get there. So what our goal is to get the 10,000 cats, right? That's how much Tora's bounty is. So I figured I wanted to see what a miner compares to Tora's bounty, and we'll do that with a variety of different starts here. So as you can see, we've got our Son of Captain has already got, that actually is Tora targeted, so he had that lucky single guy start, just like we did that we saw earlier, and he'll go ahead and go in there, and he'll get a little bit of help, and he'll do all the things that we saw before. Meanwhile, it looks like our Holy Nation Citizen has made it down, but has Hive Exile as well. Both of them got there at basically the same time, and it looks like they've drawn more than just one person. In fact, I think Hive Exile might have almost the whole camp there. I'm sure some of them will peel off, though. Meanwhile, Son of Captain has now got Tora picked up, has bandaged him up, and is taking him on off to Squin there. Now, this is timed up by 4 times, so, it's going faster because we've already seen how this all works. Meanwhile, it looks like the Wanderer has already got himself a full inventory of copper, so he'll go ahead and sell that off, and I think I go in and get all of the good stuff from the small shack. Yeah, there we are. So we'll pick up a little bit of extra cats there to help break our 10k threshold. Meanwhile, Son of Captain, I think, is just about finished. We see that Tora's getting turned in. Looks like I sold the stuff in my inventory first. And yeah, here we go. We'll check out what the stats are. Looks like it took us 9 minutes real time. It's literally midnight on day 2. We have 11k cats. We're 4 strength, 9 athletics, 2 medic, and all we got was Tora the Fearless. So his whole camp is still there. Although they will despawn. In fact, we might be far enough away that they have despawned already. Once he's gone, that camp clears out, and you can use the training dummies and the sleeping bags that are there. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Hive Exile and Holy Nation Citizen are both cleaning up from the big pack of Band of Bones that they kited up to the way station. I believe that Hive Exile actually had Tora in his pack, and so yeah, he's got Tora picked up there, so he's looting bodies while carrying Tora around, which also helps with the strength a little bit. I believe High Princes have a negative to their strength, so he probably won't be as high as like the Sheks or even the humans. But you're carrying around bodies, that is a bonus to your strength XP, so might as well do it while you're just sitting around town and looting and stuff. Now we'll see something interesting on the Holy Nation here. I'm going in, I was trying to sneak in and do an assassination, but that's some experience points. I take a hit, I'll take some damage, but that's assassination points. Failed assassinations are still worth a lot of points, especially when you're low levels. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll take what we can get as we're trying to kite everything off. Meanwhile, Hive Exile has sold a bunch of gear and has got his Tora on the way back to Squin already. And so he gives it to the Squin guard, and we'll see what those stats are right now. So here we're 6:52 in day 2, so 6 in-game hours, almost 7 in-game hours later. 17.5 minutes real time, so an extra 8 minutes, but we have 19,000 cats now, 3 strength, 15 athletics, more athletics because we had to run around a little bit more, extra medic because I think I healed up more than just Tora. And we had Tora plus half the camp, right? So in that one, I used the dead guys to use my medic, to train up my medic skill a little bit while I was there. You can get more than just cats when you pile, when you draw and kite piles of guys onto the guards, right? And you can use them for a lot of different things to train different skills. Meanwhile, the Wanderer is mining away on his little hub mine up there. Holy Nation Citizen. She's going down, and we're going to see something that's super fun. Tora sleeps in his bag. We've kited away all the guards, so it's just Tora asleep in his bed, so we can just sneak up and pick him up. And there we go, kidnapped. I didn't even have to fight the guy. We'll steal all his stuff and just run straight to Squin. I'm not even going to bother going to the way station here. So, Holy Nation Citizen now about to get her stuff. Now, this is all real time. Now, I've sped it up to 4 times speed, but they're all matched up to real time. Like, they're all sped up to 4 times real speed. There's no additional cuts or speed ups there. Now, obviously, different screens that you're seeing here will be on 3x, 2x, and 1x within the game, but
in terms of the time I actually spent into it, they are all matched up. Just all 4 of them sped up to 4 times speed. So Holy Nations turned it in, and we've got there on the second day, still before noon, 25 minutes in real time. We've got 22,000 cats, 4 strength, 17 athletics, 2 medic, plus 2 toughness, plus 2 melee defense because I got hit a couple of times, 3 stealth, 4 assassination because of how I went in and tried to assassinate the guy and had to pick up Tora. Didn't have to pick up Tora, but I sneaked in and picked up Tora while he was sleeping after I killed all of his guards. So Tora and his whole camp was cleared out, but I don't think I looted every single thing there. That's why the cats aren't as high as they should be. Or maybe Hive Exile got more than I thought he did. Either way, you're upwards of 20k cats. And the Wanderer is still going. Again, we're trying to hit 10,000 cats with him. Oh no, it looks like he just got his 10,000 cats too. So let's see what his stats are at the end of this thing. So the Wanderer comes in on day 4 in game, right? He's just sitting there on 3x speed the whole time. At 3:30 in the morning, 28 minutes real time, so it took the longest for him to get to 10,000 cats. He only has 2 strength, despite all the copper he was carrying around, 6 athletics, which is lower than any of these people. 1 medic. I added medic just because it was on all the other ones. But he does have 30 laboring, so I guess he's got that going for him. So I guess that's my kind of point. It's not too hard to learn how to do the Tora start. So when people start recommending how do I start the game, I'm tired of sitting around mines just getting beat up by dust bandits. Well, why don't you go beat up Tora the Fearless? Get yourself 10,000 cats. You could then join the Shinobi's Guild, and then you're welcome in any town that has a Shinobi tower. As I said before, buying a crossbow if you're doing a solo build is a great thing to do with all of the money that you just made, because the way that you kite those guys is exactly the same way that you kite guys with a crossbow, and you can kite whole packs that way. It takes a long time, but if you just sit there and pause and watch the animations properly, you can crossbow kite all kinds of stuff. Basically doing the same thing that we did here. I don't think that's really cheesing the game either, because that's how you have to solo it. You can't just run in solo into a big pack of anything in the game. Everything is big enough to beat you up until you've done something to give yourself an advantage, and that usually does involve using the guards. And using the guards is not cheese in a lot of games. I've played MMOs, I've played other survival games where, you see something and you get caught, you run into the guards and they save you. That's what those guards are there for. We're just, using that knowledge to our advantage to also get a little bit of stuff and get a little bit ahead in a game that, starts you out as nothing. And being a little bit ahead really, really does help out in that playthrough. So I hope you liked watching this overview of the Tora the Fearless start, and you should try it sometime if you haven't already. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.